So, you guys know about the New York Times editing an article, right? Where they published a photo of a child to show the starvation in Gaza, and then they edited it later on to say that the child had pre-existing medical conditions which was not used in the original article. There have been people trying to say that Gaza's starvation is fake due to this editing done by the NYT. What annoys me about this is that, okay, the child has pre-existing medical conditions, but how does that prove that the starvation in Gaza is fake? Just because the boy has an illness, that doesn't automatically make him not hungry anymore. Everyone has to eat, sick or healthy, someone with diagnosed illnesses, someone who doesn't have any diagnosed illnesses. This boy has a pre-existing condition which means he'll need food in his system even more. Also, his illness is not the key point proof that the famine is fake because newsflash, he is not the only one in Palestine. There are others living in Palestine too. A whole population of Palestinians who are being starved to death because the blockade is not allowing any food in, and the little food being allowed in is not enough for them, even with the airdrops where the food falls into the ocean and then becomes a soggy mess.
The pallets of aid were parachuted down to the scorched earth below, but this can also be hazardous. Here you see Palestinians chasing the airdrops into the sea, only to retrieve soggy packets of food.
Yeah. Airdropping aid in Gaza is a great way to deliver food as long as you want it to arrive both not enough and in the ocean. And it's not just ineffective as a food delivery system, it's dangerous and demeaning.
Palestinians are desperate. They need food to survive. It can happen if only something were to be done to break the blockade and open borders, since to me opening the borders is the only way, because looking at instances of activists trying to get aid into Gaza, aka the Freedom Flotilla for example, they got stopped by Israel even if it was international waters. It's horrible the lengths that Israel takes just because they want to finish off the Palestinians. And I've noticed it before that it's not just Palestinians, but even their own people as well, because recently a Hamas-released footage showed an Israeli hostage that is starving and needs food too. People who claim it's all Hamas and not Israel annoy me too, because there's been quite a lot of footage released of Netanyahu saying horrible things about Palestine, and other Israeli government people too. There's enough evidence to prove that Israel is doing all this. That Israel commits a genocide, and anyone who denies it and tries to put the blame on Hamas have yet to show me proof other than words that don't mean anything. Also, for the people who deny the starvation in Gaza, how sick of a person can you be? How can you so easily deny Gaza's starvation is fake, when you as a person don't have to worry about food, and never did before saying the starvation is fake, and won't have to worry even after saying the starvation is fake? Also, if you deny the Gaza starvation but you're a person who has kids too, how can you even be a parent? Because there are many kids starving in Gaza, but yet you feel no sympathy for them starving. How do you even have kids of your own when you don't feel sorry for other kids? What if those were your kids in that situation, then would you start to care? That is also another thing annoying me about people who call the starvation fake, are people who've never felt sad seeing Palestinian pain, because they never stop to think, what if this were my family member? Because a life is still a life whether it's someone you know or don't know. Nobody deserves to be killed for no reason. Palestinian people have done nothing wrong, and yet they get labeled as terrorists. What makes them terrorists? Where's the proof that they are? Because to me I see no proof. All these images and videos coming out of Palestine that I've seen since October 7th has made me feel so much pain for Palestine, and it has angered me so much knowing there are people against Palestinian people. When all these videos of houses destroyed, mosques destroyed, a church destroyed, schools destroyed, hospitals destroyed, basically everything in Gaza slowly being destroyed and Palestinians being killed, bombed, injured, harmed and so many other fucked up things show clear, horrific and traumatizing evidence that Palestine are indeed victims and a genocide goes on. There's so much of video and image proof of Palestinian pain that the genocide is fact. Even with world organizations like UN, Amnesty International and others also proving that a genocide goes on, only adds more to the facts. There is nothing that proves otherwise, but yet we have people kissing Israel's ass supporting them, with people also blaming Hamas instead of Israel too. Like, it's just so infuriating.